cable are too short. Stuck in there. It's too short.
Now we have the same issue. This one is a little bit longer. It's not gonna work. And we have the headlight one, which is even shorter.
Something is wrong with the paint though. It's not painted in there. Now, our tolerance are wrong. What are we gonna do? We need to rework all of them. Guys, it doesn't even fit. What the
So what do we do?
I don't know, I need a cigarette. Alright, so as you know, we are assembling 40 units of the Phantom 2.0 beta production, and as you saw in this video, there's still a couple of tolerance issues, so I really need to fix all of them before going back to Canada. So I decided to book a flight at 4 in the morning, and we're gonna fly to the supplier, take care of those issues, come back, reassemble the unit, and finally be able to ride it. So let's go. Alright, one of the supplier I always wanted to visit is the brake supplier. We start with the casting of the caliper itself. You can see it's raw. We then put it in the CNC. You can see they had some holes here, remove some metals. And this is really the first step when it's coming out of the mold. And here you see the same thing for the brake handle, a solid piece of metal like this, and this need to be emptied out for the oil to fit inside, and that's what they do here at the station. You can see with the CNC they're gonna do this, add even the thread to be able to mount the fitting on the brake handle itself. And here they're doing the same thing. You can see it's automated. And you really need those kind of machinery to have a process that is scalable. And this is what you have almost at the end. And you can notice that it's still raw. You know, the aluminum, it's gonna need to be polished and then painted. So the next step is really to polish them. So this is what this thing is doing. I cannot express how loud this thing is. One of the loudest machinery I've heard in my life. And here it's just a testing of the switch that we do for the brake handle. So as you know, there's switches built in and they have different kind of machinery like this to test. Same thing for the hydraulic brake here. They're gonna press and release to make sure that, well, the mechanism bring it back to where it's supposed to be, and you have the light flashing and counting how many times this process is being repeated. And on the other side, we have a precision inspection machinery to be sure that, you know, the holes are the diameter they're supposed to be and where they're supposed to be, and if there's any imperfection, it's going to be detected at this level. This is very important for hydraulic brake. As you can imagine, oil can leak very easily. This machine here is applying brake and spinning a disc to really see how long brake pads will last. And here we do a test of how strong we can pull on a mechanical brake line before it snaps. After that, we went to our battery supplier, which is always a great time when we visit them. We wanted to add something that is special to the battery pack of the Phantom 2.0, so we had to talk with the owner of the factory to see what was possible. As you know, at Apollo, we always prioritize safety. So we wanted to add a gel inside the battery so that in the unlikely event that there's a thermal event with your battery, it would help contain it within the battery pack itself. And it was a success. Now we have a gel in every single battery added at the end of the production. Oof, what a day. So it's now midnight. We met all the suppliers that we needed to meet. We agreed on how to resolve the problem. Now we're going back to the factory, and tomorrow hopefully we're gonna get some samples that we can install and see if all our issues are finally fixed. So I call it a night. So that's the new neck with the tighter tolerance, and now the bearings are rock solid in there. They were pressed with the hydraulic press, the top one and the bottom one. They're never gonna move, so this is what we're gonna use for the beta and the production. And it's gonna go like this. So now we were able to put the NFC inside the quad lock, and put insulation to remove the interference of the metal with the coil of the NFC. So we're gonna be able to get rid of this patch here. It's gonna be the clean quad lock, and now it works flawlessly. Alright, so after fixing all those issues, we're back to assembling a prototype so I can finally be able to ride it. Here, I took the time to explain to our staff what to look out for during production. I want to be sure that all those single problems are going to be fixed when I'm going to be back here in January. Another thing we added to the Phantom 2.0 is our brand new folding mechanism. This one is the same as before with improved material and, more importantly, a second safety system. So in the unlikely event that the hook's gonna fail or the main bolt's gonna fail, you still have that safety on the side. Well, you can see it's easy to operate, and more importantly, it's retro compatible with all those kind of folding mechanisms we produced in the past.
Je tourne la poignée, je froisse le temps. Je roule comme si quelqu'un m'attend. Je cale le pétard entre mes dents. Bah ouais, je sors la bec.
Alright, so I'm now at the airport. You can see that there was a lot of things to do in this trip, and it can easily be overwhelming or even sometimes discouraging, but you really need to take it one step at a time and one problem at a time, and you're gonna get through it. So I'll leave you on something that the Pope said: tough time never lasts, only tough people last. Allez, ciao.